Peace at Risk. Kyle and Claire's proposal in the shadow of complicated relationships. That evening, Nikki Newman and Jack Abbott were sitting across from each other at a fancy restaurant, where soft lights illuminated the dark wooden tables. The two were not only close friends but had a deep connection that had lasted for many years. They were sharing a comfortable dinner, with cheerful stories about their families and recent events in each other's lives. But that peace, however fleeting, was soon shattered by unexpected words. Promises that would later have serious consequences. "Do you think we can help my son and your niece find peace?" Jack asked suddenly, his eyes sparkling with concern. He wasn't talking about their relationship, but about the relationship within his family, specifically the relationship between Kyle Abbott and Claire Newman, a relationship that was growing deeper and more inseparable. Nikki looked up at Jack, her thoughts about the future of her family beginning to clear in her mind. "I know you're worried about Kyle and Claire," Nikki said, but her voice was not very happy. "However, maybe we don't know everything that's going on in their lives. What makes you think this relationship can work?" Jack nodded, not giving up easily. "You know, what's going on between Kyle and Claire is more than just a normal relationship. They've had experiences together, and I don't think anyone can stop them. Things are going in the right direction, and I really believe there will be a proposal this year." Nikki heard this, unable to hide her surprise. She knew that Kyle and Claire's relationship had progressed rapidly in the past period, but she still couldn't help but worry about their future. After all, a lasting relationship required not only love but also harmony between families and external factors. Jack picked up his wine glass, raised it high, and looked at Nikki. "I don't want Kyle and Claire to suffer from opposition from my family. But you also know the tension in the Abbott family is at its highest. I just want things to go in a different direction." Nikki thought for a moment and then gently put her wine glass down on the table. "So what should we do? I can't just make empty promises without seeing the price we have to pay." The meal between them suddenly became quiet. The initial smiles seemed to have faded. The two of them were facing a decision that would not only affect the lives of their children but also the lives of their entire family. However, everything was not over yet. The promises they made tonight were not simple ones. As Nikki agreed to this reconciliation plan, she couldn't help but wonder, would those promises change the future or create a new fire in their family? While Jack and Nikki were worrying about the consequences of their decision, in another corner of Genoa City, another powerful figure was holding the wind in the Abbott household. Victor Newman, a man who always confronted everything that stood in the way of his ambitions, was not one to let his family be disrupted easily, and he did not hesitate when he saw the developing relationship between Claire and Kyle. This relationship, to Victor, was an unacceptable threat. With warnings glinting in his powerful eyes, Victor decided to intervene. "Claire is not the best choice for my son," he declared, his tone sharp. "I can't let the Abbott family be threatened by this relationship. Everything could collapse if we don't act." Victor's warning is not without reason. He has always seen further than anyone else, and this time he is certain that the Abbott family is facing a serious challenge. His assertions of collapse may be a truth that few want to admit. Even Jack and Nikki, while trying to find peace for the family, cannot avoid facing this truth. While everyone is looking for ways to mend relationships, one thing is undeniable. The Abbott family is facing unprecedented upheaval, and any plan they make may have unforeseen consequences. Victor's warnings are a reminder of strength, but also a reminder of the ruthlessness of the family's power struggle. With Kyle and Claire's relationship at the center of all the controversy and intrigue, a bigger war is brewing. All that's left is for the decisive moment. The young and the restless, where power and secrets are always close, no one can predict where the family wars will lead. The complex relationships, power struggles, and hidden conspiracies create a dark picture of ruthlessness and greed. One of the most notable wars in recent times is between Victor Newman, Jack Abbott, Diane Jenkins Abbott, and Kyle Abbott, a war that involves not only career and power but also dark secrets and dangerous connections from outsiders. Victor and the Abbott family takedown plan. Victor Newman, with his sharp strategic vision and cunning mind, never lets anyone in the Abbott family harm his interests. One of his targets is Jack Abbott, whom Victor has always considered a great rival in the power struggle. However, in recent times the hatred between them has increased brutally. The cause of this confrontation begins with an event that seemed to have faded into the past. Jack used illegal drugs, and through this, he helped Nikki escape from a long-term alcohol addiction. This, while a goodwill gesture, becomes a weapon for Victor to attack. He is determined to exploit Jack's use of illegal drugs as a way to bring him down and destroy the Abbott family's reputation. Using every resource at his disposal, Victor tasks Michael Baldwin, his talented lawyer, to dig up all the information he can about Jabo, Jack's company. Michael not only helps Victor gather information, but also devises legal and intelligence strategies to create trouble for Jack and those around him. With this goal, Victor not only wants to weaken Jack, but also wants to prove that the Abbott family, despite its reputation, cannot stand up to the strategic machinations of the Newman family. The stealth attacks and information Michael gathers are incorporated into a master plan to overthrow Jabo and make Jack pay for his past actions. Billy Abbott and Aristotle Dumas. The suspicious connection. While Victor focuses on Jack, there is a new figure in town who is beginning to make a strong impact: Aristotle Dumas. This mysterious man is not only a brilliant investor and businessman, but also an individual with clear goals in the power struggle in Genoa City. Introduced in a quiet but fierce way, Aristotle begins working with someone Abbott is no stranger to: Billy Abbott. Billy, who is no stranger to strategic and risky decisions, begins working with Aristotle without fully realizing the impact this relationship will have. Although Billy is always looking for new ways to save his career, the association with Aristotle seems to be a misstep. Perhaps Billy is being used, drawn into a scheme that may not be his own. Those around him are beginning to realize that Aristotle may be controlling Billy, drawing him into difficult decisions that could have dire consequences for not only Billy but the Abbott family as well. But a bigger question arises. Is Aristotle really just using Billy to further his own ends, or is he looking to use Billy against Victor Newman? These speculations are becoming a major part of the upcoming conflict between Genoa City's two most powerful families. No one can be sure whose side Aristotle is on or what his ultimate goal is. However, with his cunning, Aristotle may be playing a much longer game than anyone in the Abbott family can imagine. Victor's new plan, a new war. As all these elements come together, Victor's grand plan begins to unfold. By using Michael's intelligence reports to target Jabo, Victor hopes to weaken Jack and create a battle that the Abbott family will have a hard time overcoming. The intelligence Michael gathers could be a key piece in his plan to disrupt the entire Abbott family system, causing them to lose stability and erode their confidence in themselves. However, the situation becomes more complicated when Billy Abbott, who is working with Aristotle, becomes part of this plan. Will Billy realize that he is being used? Or will he become a tool in the war between Victor and the Abbott family? Aristotle does not seem to be someone who is easily fooled, and he may have carefully calculated how Billy can influence important decisions in this war. The relationship between Victor, Jack, and those around them is not just a simple confrontation, but also a game of wits with silent but dangerous moves. Every step can change the situation, and the choices of the characters will decide the fate of not only them but also their families. While everything is complicated, the Abbott family is still facing a big challenge. Can Jack and Diane Jenkins Abbott protect their career and reputation when Victor and Aristotle are working together to destroy everything they have built? This question seems to have no clear answer, and the decisions that the characters make in the following episodes will only add to the drama of the story. With the participation of characters like Billy and Aristotle, as well as the intrigue surrounding the Abbott family, it is certain that this war will not stop at the usual strategies. A bigger war with unexpected twists awaits ahead. Who will emerge victorious in this battle between powerful families? The future of Jabo and even the Abbott family is at stake. Power struggle, Jack Abbott, Nikki Newman, and the costs. In the picture of intrigue and endless battles in Genoa City, no one can deny the strong influence of Victor Newman and the Abbott family. A relationship full of tension, storms, and intrigue in which Jack Abbott and Nikki Newman are the key figures. The war between them and the Newman family has never been peaceful, and recently, things have become more complicated as old secrets are revealed and strategic decisions are made. Jack Abbott and Nikki Newman. Years of strengthening trust. Since Jack Abbott and Nikki Newman began their partnership years ago, a special understanding and trust has formed between them. Despite the times of tension and conflict, they always find a way to maintain harmony, putting the interests of the family first. They both knew that only the alliance between the powerful Abbott and Newman families could bring stability to both sides. With careful decisions and strategic vision, They had built mutual trust over a long period of time. However, this arrangement began to collapse when Jack made bold moves over the past year, an action that angered Victor Newman. Jack, for his own reasons, decided to use illegal drugs, a decision he thought would benefit his family, but led to consequences beyond his control. This not only hurt the Newman family, but also damaged the relationship between Jack and Nikki. Neither could understand the reason behind Jack's actions, and while Nikki felt disappointed, Victor felt deeply betrayed. Victor Newman. Anger and feeling betrayed. For Victor Newman, this betrayal was unforgivable. Although Jack has always been a formidable opponent of Victor in power struggles, this time, Jack's actions have reached a limit that Victor cannot ignore. For him, Jack's actions are not just a mistake, but a reckless act that can cause serious consequences. Especially when Nikki, whom Victor has always considered an important part of his life, almost had to pay the price for Jack's actions. In Victor's eyes, Jack's decisions have put Nikki in a life-or-death situation, making him unable to be lenient. Victor is not a person who forgives easily, and in this case, his anger is more intense than ever. He believes that Jack has destroyed all the efforts of the Newman family, and nothing can save the relationship between the two families. Jack's actions are a challenge to Victor, and he cannot let this pass easily. Jack and Victor's relationship has been through many ups and downs, but it has never been as tense as it is now. Feelings of betrayal and anger have driven Victor to do whatever it takes to get revenge, even if it means confronting the Abbott family directly. Jack Abbott, stay away from Victor. Focus on his new family. While Victor continues to threaten and prepare for further attacks, Jack Abbott has his own plans. He knows that confronting Victor directly at this time is not a wise move. And instead of continuing the war with the Newman family, Jack decides to focus on building a different future. Instead of letting his relationship with Victor dictate his decisions, Jack wants to focus on creating a new bond between the two families, one that can benefit both of them in the long run. With his strategic plans in hand, Jack has come up with a marriage plan for Kyle Abbott and Claire Newman. This is a marriage that has not only personal value but also strategic value, bringing two powerful families together. If Kyle and Claire can build a solid relationship, not only emotionally but also in terms of the company and family, they will create a solid foundation for the future of both families. This is a move that Jack hopes can stabilize things in the Abbott family while avoiding conflict with Victor. However, even if Jack tries to distance himself from Victor, he cannot completely escape the shadow of this rival. Victor always knows how to make Jack's plans more complicated and difficult. Once the Abbott family falls into a weak position, Victor will not miss the opportunity to take over or attack Jabo directly. The war between Jack and Victor seems to be a never-ending one. Once again, Jack will face his longtime nemesis in a tense and high-stakes battle of wits. If Victor makes a move or attempts to take over the Abbott family business, Jabo, Jack will have no choice but to respond. Victor's schemes have always been aimed at destroying everything Jack has built, and this time it will be no different. Jack knows that this war will be more than just a battle for business power. It will also be a battle to protect his honor, his family, and what he has built over the years. Every move Jack makes will have to be carefully calculated, and every action he takes could change the outcome. The relationship between Jack and Victor, although sometimes framed by cooperation, is a constant struggle between two powerful men, each with their own reasons for fighting. And as these battles become more intense, not only the Abbott and Newman families but also Genoa City will witness the inevitable collapse. Unpredictable ending. Who will win? Victor and Jack's plots are not just a simple war between two families, but a life and death battle for power and survival. While Jack seeks to build new relationships and protect his family, Victor is always silently preparing for decisive attacks. Will Jack maintain stability for the Abbott family? Or will Victor once again win this relentless struggle? The answer will surely be revealed in the upcoming events in Genoa City, where everything can change in the blink of an eye. In the world of intrigue and strategic decisions on The Young and the Restless, the Newman family is always at the center of every power struggle, not only between individuals within the family, but also between outside forces that always seek to manipulate and exploit the weaknesses of this family. Especially the relationship between Victor and Nikki Newman, a story full of challenges, conflicts, and unexpected shocks. The deep affection between Victor and Nikki has gone through many ups and downs over the years. From sweet moments to tense battles and uncompromising confrontations. One of the most important moments in their relationship was when Victor made a decision that deeply hurt Nikki. This incident pushed them into a situation where no one could have predicted the outcome. Victor and Adam. Nikki's replacement plan. When Victor told Nikki that she would be replaced by Adam Newman at Newman Media, it was an unforgivable insult in Nikki's eyes. She had stood by Victor's side for many years, accompanying him in important decisions and helping him with business strategies. Therefore, when Nikki heard that she would be replaced by Adam, Victor's son, whom she had always had some doubts about, she felt betrayed and could not accept it. This was a painful blow to her. Not only because it affected her work but also because it made her doubt her position in the Newman family. This feeling was not without reason. Nikki was not only a loving wife but also an important partner in Victor's business strategies. Being pushed out like this made her feel unappreciated. However, after a moment of anger and hurt, Victor decided to explain his decision more clearly, and surprisingly, this made Nikki change her mind. Victor and the Great Plan. After that tense confrontation, Victor explained to Nikki his great plan. He said that bringing Adam into Newman Media was not a replacement, but part of a larger strategy to strengthen the Newman family's position in the market. Victor believed that Adam could bring a new wind to the company, helping them dominate the market and expand their influence. However, he also knew that, in order to carry out this plan, Nikki had to be the head of other strategies. Victor knew that Nikki was the person who understood him best, and he trusted her leadership ability. Therefore, in a surprising move, he decided to put Nikki in charge of another important strategy, the Chancellor Succession Program from Jill Abbott. This was a major success that Victor wanted to take from the Abbotts, and Nikki's leadership would be a strategic move to strengthen the Newman family. Enduring deception. Lily and the Chancellor Program. This plan was not without risk. When Victor decided to let Nikki lead the Chancellor takeover, he also faced a major challenge. Lily Winters. Lily, with her clear vision and strong character, was trusted to run the program. However, Victor and Nikki had a hidden plan to deceive Lily, making her think that she would be given control when in fact it was just a stepping stone for Nikki. Although Nikki felt a little guilty about this action, she also understood that this was a necessary step to protect the Newman family's interests. However, while Victor and Nikki believed that their plan would succeed, they did not expect that Lily would not be fooled so easily. She begins to suspect and discover the truth, which makes the situation more tense than ever. Lily not only feels hurt by the deception but also begins to look for ways to retaliate. The relationship between the two families is becoming more complicated than ever, and Nikki facing a strong opponent like Lily makes this battle even more fierce. In this context, there is another important character who plays a role in this war, that is Thomas Scott. Thomas, as the person who knows Nikki best, is always by her side in difficult times. Thomas knows that the relationship between Nikki and Victor is not only love but also strategic cooperation, and he always supports Nikki in important decisions. When things get complicated, Thomas is not only a confidant, but also a person who believes in Nikki's ability to overcome challenges. He also understands that if the Newman family wants to win this power struggle, Nikki will need the support of people who believe in her like Thomas. Together, they will have to deal with the conspiracies of the Abbott family and threats from outside. Alliance with Kyle and Claire. A faraway hope. At the same time, Nikki and Victor realize that the alliance between the Abbott family and those close to them can be an important factor in helping them maintain power. Kyle Abbott and Claire Newman. Two promising young people have become the future representatives of the Abbott family. The alliance between Kyle and Claire is not only a romantic relationship but also a grand strategy to consolidate the Abbott family's power in business relationships. However, Victor and Nikki also realize that this relationship can become a major obstacle for the Newman family. If Kyle and Claire truly unite and become a power couple, they could be a formidable force in this power struggle. Therefore, Victor and Nikki have tried to prevent the development of this relationship, hoping that their alliance will weaken the Abbott family. However, this hope seems far-fetched as all their plans encounter unforeseen obstacles. The relationship between conflict and loyalty. In the end, while Victor and Nikki's strategies don't seem to be working out as expected, they continue to face major challenges from other families and undiscovered conspiracies. Will Nikki remain loyal to Victor? Or will she be forced to make difficult decisions to protect her family? The relationship between love and power, deception and loyalty, will determine their fate in this war. The complex relationships and ever-changing strategies on the young and the restless always create dramatic situations where every decision can change the course of the power struggle. Will the Newman family maintain stability, or will they collapse under the pressure of their ever-threatening enemies? Time will tell.